And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
Now, the starting group for the Milwaukee Bucks. Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. The backcourt comprised of Bledsoe and Matthews. And it's Lopez in its center. And for Philadelphia, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
My goodness, I didn't think they could top that last dunk, but it only took them a couple seconds.
Not much defense, Greg, on those last few possessions, but does anyone mind?
Not
at
all.
Oh, and here comes Bledsoe all alone. Over Richardson. No good from Bledsoe. Philadelphia with the ball. They lost the last time they faced the Bucks. That one in Milwaukee.
And it's going to come down to effort tonight. Last time they met each other, they were demolished on the boards, and that rebounding difference led to a sizable loss.
And the shooting guard, Wesley Matthews, a terrific defender who has no hesitation, Greg, in taking that long three.
A pretty good combination. Weathered an Achilles tear back in 2015, but has remained a steady rotation player.
And the basket is good.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
The 76ers trail by 6. And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Lopez. Pat Connaughton comes in for Chris Middleton. Dante DiVincenzo, he's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And George Hill's subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Now here's Simmons, one of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Here's Harris. He kicks it to Embiid. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Well, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, right now I don't see any let-up, GA. I think he's going to just keep putting his foot on that gas pedal tonight.
Now here's Richardson. George Hill missing his last shot. The quick look, no good that time. Now here's Ilyasova. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Sometimes it takes a while. Yes. I think you can teach guys how it is that when they come off a screen, what's going to be available to them, and paint pictures for them so that when they're on the floor, they become second nature in terms of their decision making. That can be huge. And then the second thing is always player development, working on confidence in shooting the basketball. You just want guys to feel like whatever shot they're taking, they've got a great chance to make it.
Here's Connaughton. He gets that one.
Changing ends quickly. He's rewarded with a high percentage look.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and Giannis throws it down.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, dominant so far. That's the responsibility of the starters. Now let's see if everybody else who plays in this game makes the same kind of high-level contributions. It just takes advantage of the D in a way that very few players, Kevin, playing today can do.
Here's Burks. Good work there as it goes.
Punch, counter punch. Impressive offensive production early on.
Who's going to miss first? Every time one team scores, the other team right back at you.
Antetokounmpo can't get it to go.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Milwaukee leading by 7. Connaughton passes to Antetokounmpo. Connaughton kicks to Antetokounmpo. Goes back up, and he sinks the layup. Antetokounmpo's got 10 points in the game.
Going to take a little more to get Antetokounmpo off of his mark there. Adept at finishing those difficult shots.
From deep three-point range, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's feeling it tonight.
Timing he shows there to challenge that shot.
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
Well, he's not a locked-in starter these days, but Brent, George Hill can be effective off the bench.
Comes in at the 1 or the 2 guard position, can guard the 1 through 3 positions, and because of George Hill and his massive amount of playoff experience, there's a lot of confidence in the coaching staff to get George out on the floor, and that he's going to make the right play at the right time.
And it's a completely new group here for Philadelphia. The Bucks also changing it up. Lopez, he's checked in for Lopez. Chris Middleton comes in for Dante DiVincenzo. And Eric Bledsoe subbed in for George Hill. Here's Harris. And again, unable to change momentum here. Bledsoe for 3. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Here in the second quarter, we played a little over 2.5 minutes in the final year with the Celtics. A bit of a surprise to fans.
You know, Horford said he wanted to test free agency. Talks between him and Boston abruptly ended, was wooed by several teams, but ultimately signed on with the Sixers.
Kicks to Harris. The pass to Thibault. 44 seconds left in the first half. Good D by Lopez.
We'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space, just clanked it.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Here's Thibault, defended by Middleton.
Oh, that's out of there. Not a high riser, but Lopez using his frame, a smart block, if you will.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and it's Philadelphia with the rebound.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see him miss from there.
Simmons looking around. From deep, and the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks.
Kevin, thanks.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter.